Stephen, I feel like I should have done a little more primping before this Detroit Original segment.
Me too.
We're sitting here with Miss Michigan this morning, Emily Sioma. So good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me in here. I'm
Well, no problem. So
having you a part of the show.
You were just crowned in early June.
Yes. So not even 2 weeks ago. I'm kind of still new to the job, getting my footing on what my year is going to be like, and really how to put on this crown. You saw me struggling with it a little bit earlier.
Well, it's new.
Yes, it's a little bit different than the one I'm usually wearing, if I'm wearing one at all.
What was the moment like when you won?
I keep saying it was just so unbelievable because I was holding hands with girls that were just as deserving of the title as me, just as talented and as brilliant, and so to have my name be called, well, they usually call it out by like title or contestant number. This time they were calling it out by name, and I had this moment thinking, wait, what's my name? Right. I was like, what's my name again? Okay, I have to be listening for a name, and I was like, I don't want to get it wrong if they don't announce mine, but it was absolutely amazing to have that experience because you dream about it and you think about it, and that entire week leading up, you're like, well, what if it is me? I think I have what it takes, and that was the pinnacle of it
What's
for
your
me.
talent?
I'm a tap dancer.
Oh, wow,
I'm a tap dancer. So I actually danced to a Detroit native artist, Grizz. I know he was from Detroit, went to school at MSU, and now he's bouncing all over the place. He's become kind of famous, but I'm hoping that he'll see that I'm using this on the Miss America stage, and I can meet him eventually. But we'll see.
That'd be nice.
We'll see.
Hopefully he'll watch this.
All right, Emily, you're from Jackson, went to school at U of M.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's all right. We'll hold it against her.
And but we're gonna for this purpose, you're a Detroit original. So we'd like to ask you a few questions. So we're gonna get 10 questions. We're gonna fire at you.
Absolutely.
All right. Who would you like to be stuck in an elevator with?
I would love to be with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I heard her speak at the University of Michigan, and she seems like the great grandma that you always want. And she has a really interesting story. I've read a lot of books about her, and so being able to talk to her and just see how she acts in person, one-on-one, would be really fun.
She might judge you, though.
She probably would, but I'm used to being judged too, to be fair.
There you go. There you go.
What classic hits would we find on your iPod or iPhone or whatever you've got?
If I'm thinking back to what I grew up listening to, CCR or the Eagles, those were a lot of what my parents were playing. We have a lot of home videos with that kind of music on them.
Yeah, I love it.
Not a lot of tap dance stuff on your...
No, so I didn't start tapping until I was a little bit older, but I was dancing. My dancing was running around the living room table a lot. Some of my home videos are not that interesting to watch.
That sounds fascinating to me. Who's been the greatest inspiration in your life?
Of course, I'm going to give the typical answer, but it's definitely my mom. I'm an only child, and being the only daughter, my mom has become my greatest ally, my best friend, but also someone that I've had the opportunity to grow with as I've been growing older.
There's a reason that's often the answer.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
It's a fair answer.
Oh, absolutely.
Is she like a real, like the ultimate stage mother?
Absolutely not. She was someone who had no idea what this was going in. She was more clueless than I was, and for a while, I wouldn't say it took her a long time to come around, but she's like, you know, if you love it, I love it. And now she has her pageant mom friends, and she likes to do her gown shopping, and she's always bedazzling something. But she is very much the I'm here to support you, and she remembers that all the time.
That's fantastic. Good. Your favorite place to eat in and around Detroit?
Ooh, I am a big fan of Takoi, just because they used to have a little pop-up shop in Ann Arbor, and it was right down the street from my house. So I went there when they were brand new, and now seeing their big restaurant, especially after their rebuild since they had the fire, it's turned into a nice place to get cocktails, get food, and then have local DJs as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I know you're really into the fitness and healthy eating too. So
Trying. I went vegetarian about a year ago now, and that's really what changed my lifestyle. So Takoi, they cater to that as well. They have vegan options, vegetarian options.
So you're sitting there with a sash and a crown on, but I'm going to ask you the question, what's your greatest professional accomplishment so far in your life?
So profession-wise, I haven't quite figured it out, but I would say that graduating from the University of Michigan, that's a big feet. And my profession for a long time was student, so I think I'll count that one.
And what your major is?
I was a women's studies major, and I had, excuse me, a minor in sociology. Sorry, I've been talking all morning.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, so I was a minor in sociology, and it's driving me to go into some sort of social justice or possibly social work, just because I love talking to people, working with people, and finding solutions to problems we see.
Or you could be a DJ.
Well, yeah.
DJ, I do love talking. I was telling you that is kind of a secret dream of mine, but I see the work you guys do, and this is there's so much more so much more than you would expect to see. Since
And
you hear
you
it.
were watching some real veterans in the radio world.
Oh yeah, we've been at it like months.
Yeah, well, hey, you guys were thinking quick on your feet, and you have that energy behind your voice, which I equated to being loud, and so finding that radio voice, I think, would be the first step to possibly pursuing a career.
All right, you'll get
in
it.
radio.
You'll get it. Fiction or nonfiction?
I am a fiction person. I love dystopian novels, especially like dystopian short stories, because it lets me get out of the crazy world that we actually live in into like a kind of a fictional
crazy world.
Yes, and so that one I can cope with a little bit.
What's your favorite story then?
I am a big Kurt Vonnegut fan. His short stories are really fun just because they almost seem like they could be possible, but they dive deeper into that. Oh, well, what if this thing we always think about actually came true? So,
all right. Favorite vacation spot?
I'm a Key West fan.
Are you?
I went for my 21st birthday, and then we went the year after, and I'd been there before, but my parents love it, and they just kind of let me roam free on the island. It's not that big, maybe 2 miles long, so you get to walk from one end to the other, enjoy the beach, and enjoy the sun, too.
Well, you know, I'm not going to ask if your current profession hadn't worked out, because you haven't really launched that yet, and you're doing this now. But I will ask your platform for Miss Michigan.
So my platform, I titled it I Believe You, and it's about supporting survivors of sexualized violence, because I know that as individuals, we don't always have a lot of say over laws. We don't always have a lot of say in the way that people work within and with victims of sexual assault, but we do have control over the way that we respond to people who tell us about the fact that they're victims of sexual assault. And so the words I believe you are a huge part of inspiring and empowering people to be confident on their journey to recovery, because it's something that never ends. You're recovering the rest of your life and integrating that identity into yours.
Very good.
Question number 10, the final question. Describe the perfect day with your family, and it may end up in Key West again, right?
Can I give the answer? Tell me if you know what I am referring to.
Okay.
April 25th, not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. The perfect day. It's from Miss Congeniality.
Oh, it is.
They ask her, they're like, describe your perfect
Oh,
date.
how
And of course,
funny.
she's supposed to be giving the answer, like, what would your perfect date be with someone? And she took it very literal. And she ends up winning Miss United States in the movie. So I was like, oh, I can do my
I'll use
perfect
that
day.
one. Oh, that is too funny. That's great. Well, good. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much for being. Good luck. You know, before we asked you this on the radio, but we should ask you this here quickly. The swimsuit competition going away in Miss America. Your thoughts on that?
It's a big change, especially since they have not told us yet what is going to replace that phase of competition. So we're all sitting and waiting to hear how we can prepare for it. But I was a big fan of the swimsuit portion because I believe it gave us an opportunity to very publicly show people what kind of bodies should be celebrated. And I will say the organization and the women in it need to do a better job of encouraging and supporting women of all different body types, of all shapes and sizes, colors, races, religions, being on that stage, because for a long time we've only seen one type of girl up there. And so the way that you spark change is by showing people, is by having those few women who are very, very confident in themselves, no matter their body type, and that's how you start changing minds and starting
You'd rather
conversation.
see that happen than getting rid of it.
Yes, because I think it's telling us, or it's reinforcing that women who cover up deserve more respect than women who don't, and I believe women, no matter what they're wearing, how covered they are, deserve equal respect.
By the way, I think they're replacing the swimsuit competition with axe throwing.
Someone said math, and I was like, oh, please not math. Please not math. But I'm excited. I think it'll be more interview, and like I said, I love to talk, so just getting the opportunity to show who I am in an interview with the judges is just another phase of competition that I'll really enjoy.
So what was more stressful, these 10 questions or 12, whatever we ended up doing, or being asked on the stage by a judge?
Well, so these for me, we call them fluff questions. It's more of a, I say fluff because it's the stuff that you don't always think about. But
we're going to get harder.
The political questions and the things where they're challenging you to think more, not just about yourself, but about the broader subjects, broader topics. That's easy for me because I was in that political science. I was in that women's studies background. So it's easy for me to have an opinion. But when you ask me stuff that's personal, like, oh, what's your favorite book? What's your favorite song? I'm like, I forgot. I'm so busy thinking about other things, I totally don't remember myself.
How about that?
So.
I can solve world peace, but I can't remember what my favorite song is.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what my name was on stage.
Well, we hope we hear Emily Sioma in September in the Miss
you.
America pageant. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.